Hi. We're back to that time of year. Well, time is nearly 8 o'clock. I've actually put it off long enough. I wanted to get up at 6, but I did not. Purpose being to go put in some plants in the ground, plants that are gagging to grow. So I am on my way to the allotment. I've got some beetroot and I've got different types of courgettes that I don't even know what they are. And oh Lord, and we've got the rubbish truck in the way, so I'm going to have to wait. And I'm sure you do not want to have me nattering to you for so long. So someone checking to see whether or not I really don't have space. I don't have space. These are narrow lanes, but I think they assume that because I'm a woman I don't know what I am talking about. But yeah, they're now coming out of my way. Okay, and apologizing, which is nice. There we go. Okay, let us go. We'll be there soon, and these guys can go in the ground. I have no clue where I'm putting them, but we will find out when we get there. So hopefully either the gate will be open or it won't be too difficult to open. That's the key thing. And so here we are. The gate is closed, so I'm going to have to open it. Wish me luck. Okay, see you soon. Coming back here a week after I finished this is really nice, because you see what has happened. I'm still getting these volunteer potatoes trying to grow. I have no clue what type of potato it is, but I don't want it in here because this is my brassica bed. Because I know it grew last year as well, and I didn't dig it out, but probably I'll dig it up another day. But today I think I will be getting some of that Swiss chard to take for my sister. And I've noticed that in my container that I've brought, I've got one purple sprouting broccoli. So what I am going to do is I'll probably put it in one of these, probably in this one here, until I sort out all the cabbage. This cabbage here needs to have all its edges removed and cut away to leave the tidy one, the tidy leaves, so that it can stop attracting the slugs. In there we got a few weeds that will need to be pulled out, although that's not my task for today. That's probably something I'll do tomorrow. For today, my key tasks are, oh, this is Swiss chard as well. So, and it's doing fine as well. So I'll take some of this as well, tidy this tomorrow. Let's have a look at the berries I moved. If you remember, I moved berries. I don't know what type of fruit trees they are, but remember I was going to get rid of them. And then I moved them, and look, I think they're currants. And we have a whole lot of ants all the way up top here. Don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it still long enough to show you. But look, we got ants there. They must have a job to do. Are they harvesting? Are they, what's the word? I hope they're not farming aphids on here, because I know I've got a lot of ants. Got some raspberries there, but I'll leave those ones. They're not so worrying because they're on the side where I'm okay with having raspberries. This is another bush, which I have no clue what it is, but it also flowered, and it is now going to fruit. I've no clue what this is. I think it might be a gooseberry. Not sure what I feel about gooseberries, because I don't think I like eating gooseberries. but it is what it is. I can see quite a few raspberries in places. I'm not sure I like them, but they will do. Right. Weeds, weeds, weeds. Everywhere you go, weeds. But this is not what we're here for. I'm here to spend just a bit of time, like I did last time, and then to go back home and get ready, because today I am having my hair done. Oh, see? Raspberry where it shouldn't be. Et voila. Let's see. All these I'll just drop on top, because on top we've got wood chip. So once you pull them out, they're fine. So what I'll do is I'll just do what I'm supposed to be doing rather than doing this, she says, as she continues to pull out all these grass shoots that are trying to take over a space that does not belong to them. I want to try and get my sweet potato bed ready at some point soon, but Stella, stop. Go focus on what you're here for. All this will get done in time. Yes, a little bit at a time wins. So I'm just looking everywhere and thinking. But let's focus on what we're here for. We need to decide where those guys are going. I forgot my square foot thing, which would have helped me. But I think I can kind of work out how to plant them so that they have the space they need. So I think I'm actually going to use this bed here, and I'm going to maintain the weed membrane and put them in on top of the weed membrane with a hole where they're going. That way I won't have to deal with weeds. So let me go get the stand and we can get going. And anytime we find this type of thing, we have to do that to it. So things that are still simple, we manage whilst we can. Garlic, doing gorgeous. Bit of rust, I think this is, but it does not affect the growth. I see a few nettles in there which will need to come out, but enough digression. I'll need a day where I come just to weed. So let's get on and do what we're supposed to be doing. I turned you off, but then I thought you might enjoy having a look and seeing all the prep that has taken place on people's beds. I think if I'm to give an award for the prettiest space right now, it's this one. During the winter, they put a whole lot of manure on here, covered it with cardboard, and let it sit the whole winter. You can see they've got lovely, lovely onions in the back. Strawberries are about ahead of that. And here they have potatoes. They've kept it very simple, and in a way maybe that's something that is better. And I do love their pea frame as well. See, just that, so pretty. I want one just because it's pretty. Another gorgeous looking plot is this one here, pea frame up. I'm sure this is for brassicas. They've got mint going crazy in there. And this one here, it looks pretty because of all the lovely blue flowers. So let me go back and get what I need from the car. Okay, this is where we're going to be working. I'll start by moving the wood out of the way. I'll be sipping coffee in between because I haven't had my coffee yet, and we'll see how we go. Yay! Okay, this is testing. I got a new speaker, microphone, but I haven't actually tried it out. I don't know if it will work, so this is a testing so that I can listen to the sound and see how good the sound is. So I've been faffing around with that instead of getting on with what I'm here to do. But soon we're going to be getting on with what we're going to do. Let's start by getting rid of all these bits of wood top of it. Okay, so I'm going to put those guys in there. I'm thinking I can easily have other stuff in between, so I'm going to put them on the corners, and then I'll think about what to put in the middle. But for now, let's get those in. Let me go get my... Oh, God, my brain's not working. I haven't had coffee. Let me go get my blood, fish and bone stuff and some chicken manure to put inside the holes where I'm going to put each of these. Hi, I do apologize for my music. I put it on simply because I managed to run out of battery on the microphone and I did not realize it will not happen again. What you see me doing here is adding the beetroot to the edge of the brassica bed. I'm hoping that they will work well together, and I want to take this row all the way down to the end, and that's what you're going to see me do. Okay, so this is me carrying on with that same row that I decided to do. However, on this end of the bed was a little bit narrower, and as a consequence I am working into some wood chip. So what I did is I tried to move the wood chip out of the way in some areas, and where I couldn't move the wood chip out of the way, I found a different solution that you will see me carry out in a minute. It's a day of doozies, because as you can see, somehow the silly thing ended up on slow-mo, but it helps because what you can see me do now is I've dug down into the wood chip until I hit the proper soil, and then what I'm doing is I am putting some compost into the holes in order to give them a little bit of richness. I'm not sure whether or not beetroot need extra richness. They seem to do okay wherever you plant them, but we shall see. So I'm using a square foot idea of adding some compost to it. Eek! We've left that point, and now we're on to addition of extra purple sprouting broccoli I don't know if it's purple or green sprouting broccoli, which I've been gifted by one of the other allotmentiers. So this is me adding it to the bed next to my little weeny one, and you can see the difference in size. Oh my God, it's so shameful. My ones don't look as good as his do. Oh, I was going to use that, and then I remembered that, oops, it did not work because the soil is quite clayey underneath the manure. So I decided to use that lovely little tool. I think it's a take off of the hori, but it works well. I don't need an expensive piece of equipment to achieve the same thing, and for me this works quite well. Anyway, this is me just putting them in and wowing over the great root system. My plants were a little bit soggy, which made pulling them out a lot more difficult and getting them into their holes a lot more difficult. But here you can see that this is nice and easy. Additionally, what I've discovered is, having layered this bed with rotted horse manure, I'm finding it very, very easy to dig down, and even the clay soil underneath is starting to be loosened, because obviously you're going to have a whole lot of worms that live right down deep and then come up to eat some of that compost and pull it down with them into the clay soil. So we're going to end up with a very happy bed with beautiful soil over the years. Hopefully I will have years to live and to enjoy this with not so many aches and pains, because I'm not that young either. Anyway, let's carry on and finish this, and then we'll see what happened next. Right, funnily enough, I'm showing you my gloves, which are not waterproof, and I was whinging because I stupidly carried waterproof gloves but did not wear them. Dippy person that I'm being today. So by then I was done. I was feeling like, okay, it's time to go home. I really had come only to put in the plants I'd come with. I wasn't meant to be doing other bits and pieces. However, I then decided that it would be a good idea to do the harvest I said I was going to do. So this is me getting started with the Swiss chard harvest. So I harvested not only this one but the other ones as well and took them home. Hopefully I'll find them still available by the time I get home, because right now I'm not home. But they looked very, very nice. They've got such lovely thick stems. I think they're amazing. Can I just say that newspaper makes a great tool for kneeling when the ground is wet. Granted, you will still get wet knees, well, slightly wet knees, but who cares? We're already muddy and messed up, so what's a little bit of extra wetness to add to the mix, because we know that we're lucky enough to live in a country where we have water and we're going to be washing. So I used my newspaper, knelt down and tried to get all these plants harvested. The challenge was the fact that this is my first time ever harvesting this, and I'm not sure whether I was doing it the right way around. Was I supposed to just chop the whole top off, or am I supposed to take the edge? So I was busy mumbling to myself and talking to myself, as I always do, about what I should be doing. But hopefully I did it correctly. Okay, so we're on to the ruby chard, and I feel that maybe you might enjoy my voice more than you enjoy the music I'm choosing for you, because I'm using free non-copyright music which comes with my editing app. So I'm not sure what size these ruby chard are supposed to be, but I'm taking only a few because I'm worried that maybe they're supposed to be getting bigger, but then if they're supposed to be getting bigger, they've been in the ground long enough to get bigger and they haven't. So the question becomes, what kind of feed do chard like to have? What kind of soil do chard like to have? And that's an investigation for another day. Okay. Seriously, watching someone chop vegetables seems to be such a boring thing to spend your time doing. I mean, I'm trying to edit this video and watching it is boring me so much I decided to add a little bit of extra, pizzazz to this section by getting you to hear my dulcet tones again. So I'm not sure whether this is, I think it's spinach, but it's a spinach that's not even the right color, probably doesn't have enough nitrogen to give it that beautiful green color that spinach can have. However, I decided to harvest it all because it's been in the ground quite a long time as well. Okay, so whilst I was at it, I decided to pull out a weed, and stupid fool that I am, I decided to pick up the stinging nettle and wondered why my fingers were stinging a little while later. And as always, whenever you have the opportunity, pull one or two weeds and you will always end up with less weeds. Of course, I had the opportunity to use a free strimmer, so you'll also notice that the grass has suddenly disappeared as compared to the beginning of the video. One of the allotment neighbors gave me his strimmer and I used it to chop down the grass, and now we're just clearing up, ready to go home because one is knackered and one has another appointment to get to. So we just need to wash out all the tools and equipment that we've used, pick up our harvest and be on our way. Okay, my sister says I'm switching it up because I've now decided that rather than just type on screen, I'm going to say thank you for watching to this point. I do apologize for the dippy video that you've received today. However, it still shows you what I've achieved, and once again we're standing at my favorite position to stand back and look at my allotment and smile and think, wow, I do love it loads. But anyway, got to dash, people to see, things to do, so let's finish tidying up and get out of here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I'm busy sorting out my compost to make sure water is not pouring into it, and now let's pick up and go. So really, Stella, why did you go back there? Apologies, sorry guys, I do have a bad habit of being finicky about doing things that I see need doing, and therefore it makes it very difficult for me to finish. But this is the end. Bye bye. And of course we finish off with a beautiful photo of moi with the harvest. I do apologize for the eyes, it's genetics.